On this day, in this race, the final result is usually all that's remembered, even if so much of the story is actually about the long and improbable process of building a champion. Steve Coburn and Perry Martin spent $8,000 to hold on to a slow, undersized filly that everyone else gave up on. They bred the horse and named her baby colt California Chrome. Today at Churchill Downs, the result could be a Kentucky Derby champion. New England native Don Little Jr. wanted to pay tribute to his roots after the Boston Marathon bombing.
Wicked Strong to the lead.
And after a wicked run of success, that horse has made it all the way to Kentucky. For Rosie Napravnik, the Derby is a place to make a distinct kind of history, to reach a new pinnacle in an already remarkable career.
This is me and my dreams coming true.
A peak no female jockey has ever climbed. At age 51, Gary Stevens has seen just about everything in racing, and he's proven he still knows how to guide a winner.
And Gary Stevens!
So the long process of constructing a contender has reached the point where for one set of connections, the dream will come true. The trophy is ready and waiting to be raised. The winner of the 140th Kentucky Derby is set to be crowned. The official attendance has been announced, second largest ever, 164,906.
Well, Derby drama will play out with the jockeys. Rosie Napravnik would be the first female winner, but she and Vickers and Mischief are in a tough inside post. Calvin Burrell loves the inside. He's on the outside today. Can he get to the rail on right on Curlin? It would be Derby win number 4 if Gary Stevens can get Candy Boy home. But all the riders have their eyes on Victor Espinoza aboard favored California Chrome.
Well, after 3 years, or if you prefer to do the complicated math, north of 25,000 hours of preparation and hope, 19 horses are set to go off on the grandest stage in all of thoroughbred racing. We're just about to find out who wins the 140th Kentucky Derby. So again, Tom Hammond.
All right, Bob, and let's check the odds. The favorites to long shots with California Chrome still holding the favorite. He has all day, of course, 2-1. 6-1 on Wicked Strong. The second choice, Danza, is at 8-1. You see the odds. Favorites to long shots. Now, there's California Chrome. How's he looking to you so far?
So far, so good. The Chrome is shining, cool, calm, and collected. He's been described as a people horse, which is a good thing when there are 164,000 people here. Now, how well will he break from the gate, and how will Victor Espinoza choose to ride him with a lot of other early speed in the race? Uncle Si, Wildcat Red, Cheetu, maybe Victor's in trouble, maybe General A-Rod.
It's loaded with speed up there. The trick for Victor Espinoza is to guide him into the clear as quickly as he can without losing too much ground if possible.
You know, Wicked Strong has had some issues in the starting gate. In fact, it led to some subpar races in Florida. He actually gets angry sometimes in the starting gate.
Yeah, I think strong is the operative word. He gets kind of macho man in there. He also has it before the gate. Now, we witnessed in the post parade here, he got a little rammy with the pony. He wasn't nervous. He just got a little aggressive. They left the post parade early. He stayed that way pretty much all the way over to the backside. But this is normal for him. He does this a lot. And again, I say he's not nervous. He's just aggressive.
What about Danza? How's he been looking?
Well, Danza looks pretty nice, too. He may be a little further back in the pack today than he was in the Arkansas Derby. There's Jersey Joe Bravo. He's won so many races, over 3,000 in his career, yet to get that Kentucky Derby trophy, yet to be on a horse that's even had a shot. He's 0 for 2. But this horse, Danza, is a very, very live mount who likes to run next to the rail. So if he gets down on the inside and he can get some running room, that's a good thing for him.
Intense Holiday on the board there at 12-1, currently getting some play.
Yeah, he ran a very good race in the Risen Starry, winning it, but he wasn't quite as impressive in Louisiana Derby, mainly because he has an issue with his kind of his rear end a little bit. As he strides forward and he changes leads, leading with the right leg or leading with the left leg, he's supposed to be in rhythm behind with in front. Now, he doesn't always change those leads in concert with each other. Sometimes his lead change in front won't coordinate with his lead change in back. And that makes a jockey have to wait a little longer when he wants to move for Intense Holiday to decide, okay, I'm ready to go.
He's been training very well, but that has been a concern. And there's Candy Boy and 51-year-old Gary Stevens, who's has told us, trainer John Sadler has told us the strategy is to take him a little further off the pace today than he was at Santa Anita. There's Sadler, but not too far. Gary said he wanted to stay within striking range of the leaders, and he's got to work out a trip from that outside post position.
Yeah, look, guys, this is such a hard race to ride. You can plan and plan and plan and know where you want to be, but if you can just get about where you want to be coming down that stretch the first time without getting really knocked around, it's a victory going into the first turn.
Now, there was a stretch, of course, of opportunity, so now 19 horses run, and just like last year, for safety reasons, they're keeping the #1 gate stall empty. That's because if you stand in that stall and look down the racetrack, the rail is right in front of you. Horses from the #1 post actually have to navigate around the rail, so that'll make it a little safer.
So that was
still not real easy, but it's easier.
Done for safety reasons, so Vickers in trouble gets a little bit of a break. I think I called him Vickers in mischief a minute ago, but that's his sire. So loading into the gate for the Kentucky Derby, as you see Medal Count going in, trained by Dale Romans, who is a fixture here at Churchill Downs. And going into the auxiliary gate is Tapiture. California Chrome you saw in the gate with that DAP on the blinkers. Todd Pletcher with 4 horses in the Derby today. Danza, pretty highly regarded one. Jimmy Jerkins, how great would it be for that family of legendary trainers to win a Kentucky Derby? Joe Sharp, Rosie Napravnik's husband, is a Mike Maker assistant. As they continue to load, let's go to the voice of Churchill Downs and the Triple Crown, Larry Coles.
We are ready for the start. Danza has now been backed out of the starting gate. Goes back in. All in line, ready for the start of the Derby. They're off in the Kentucky Derby. A good start for California Chrome. He broke a bit outwardly. He'll be among the early leaders. Harry's Holiday fires out fast from the inside. There goes Cheetu, and California Chrome is right with them. Uncle Si, California Chrome, and Cheetu will set the pace in the Derby. And then it's Samrat running in 3rd position, and then Vickers in trouble to the inside. Harry's Holiday is hard to control early, and moving up on the far outside of horses is Wildcat Red and Intense Holiday. Then it's Tapiture, Medal Count, Vince Ramos, and Danza's guided down to the inside part of the track. Wicked Strong is next. Oh, Candy Boy had to steady hard on that turn. Then it's Dance with Fate, We Miss Artie to the inside. Between horses, General A-Rod, Commanding Curve, and Ride on Curlin, who was taken to the back by Calvin Burrell, will be last of them all. As they go to the back stretch, the pace is not fast. They went 47-1 for a half mile, and Uncle Si is the leader. Cheetu is second, and California Chrome is now just off of them. Victor Hasbinoza has him well in hand, running in 3rd position, a length and a half off the lead. And then comes Samrat to the outside. Intense Holidays on the far outside, pretty close to the pace. Vickers in trouble, and Rosie Napravnik are down at the rail. Then comes Danza and Tapiture. Now they make their way into the far turn, and it is Uncle Si the leader. Cheetu is alongside, and California Chrome is 3rd, just outside the leaders. Samrat is right next to him. The 4 of them are together. Then Intense Holiday, Tapiture, Medal Count, Danza's right there in contention. Dance with Fate is next, and they're coming to the top of the stretch, and California Chrome makes his move for the lead. It is California Chrome on the outside. Samrat runs at him with the 8 pole. California Chrome is pulling away. California Chrome into the final furlong. He's got a 5-length lead on his competition. It is California Chrome in front. And from the back of the pack on the outside, Commanding Curve is taken second. But California Chrome shines bright in the Kentucky Derby. Commanding Curve was second, and then came Danza in 3rd. The final time, 2 minutes, 3.66 seconds.
Derby dreams do come true. One of the owners, Steve Coburn, dreamt just before this horse was foaled that he was going to win the Kentucky Derby. And on Coburn's 61st birthday, California Chrome just looks like the real deal that everyone thought he was when he won the Santa Anita Derby. This is his 5th win in a row, and he seems to get better every time he runs.
Tom, the stage was set when he broke well. He laid up close. Victor Espinosa was able to move outside the dirt into the clear. I mean, just like we said he needed to do to win, it worked out picture perfect for him.
Everything fell into place. What a nice ride by Victor Espinosa. And he had the horse that was adaptable enough to show some speed early, then ease a little back and sort of turn the switch off. And then, just like at Santa Anita in those races we saw, he separated himself quickly from the competition when they turned for home.
You know, it might have looked easy, but with all the pressure of riding the favorite of the Kentucky Derby and the issues you might face in the gate, and then what do you do if he gets up in a speed duel early? Victor handled him beautifully. As we see the start, California Chrome behaving very well, braking well, a little out, but not a big deal at all. So Victor didn't have to push on him very hard, just allowing California Chrome to use his natural early speed. You see Victor looking outside to see who might want to clear him. Rosie Napravnik and behind him with the red cap cover and the R having a little problem. Rating Vickers in trouble. But Victor Espinosa couldn't be any happier right here as the speed crosses over in front of him.
There you saw how he tightened up on the reins and just eased California Chrome back, and now he'll take California Chrome to the outside of G2. At the top of the stretch, as we saw in California, it's over.
This is exactly how he won his last two races, making the lead, turning for home, and accelerating, opening up every furlong. He got a bigger margin and a bigger margin, really a dominating win.
Out of an $8,000 mare and a $2,500 stallion, people paid millions of dollars to try to win the Kentucky Derby. What an unbelievable story this is.
Well, they already turned down $6 million for 51%.
Yeah.
And that was a race or two ago. So can you imagine Victor Espinosa, a brilliant ride, as you and Jerry noted, Randy. He was able, in addition to reserve him back a little bit, but keep him from getting the dirt in his face, which he does not like. And Art Sherman becomes the oldest trainer ever to saddle a Derby winner, 77 years old. Charlie Whittingham was 76 when Sunday Silence won the Derby. Now Sherman at 77, the oldest ever. Let's go to Donna.
Well, Victor, we've been watching everybody else celebrate on air. We've been watching the owners celebrate, the trainers celebrate. Finally, we get to find out from you, what's it mean to win your second Kentucky Derby?
Man, awesome. I mean, I never have the, dreams that I want to win two Kentucky Derbys in my entire career, I was a young guy, and I never know that I was going to be a jockey, and look at me. It just ended up to run in, two Kentucky Derbys. Just an awesome feeling, and you know what? Working hard and everything comes along.
A fairy tale story. California Chrome is a horse that essentially cost around $10,000, and he wins the Kentucky Derby today. You're now 5 for 5 on this horse. How good a horse is this, Victor?
You know what? I really don't know. You have to ask him. I think we get along together very well. I mean, since I started him, the first time I rode him, he was just impressive horse, an amazing horse. And I think we get along because I let him do his thing. Let him enjoy the race around, whatever he wants to do, and not hard to go against him, and I think he likes that.
The trainer Art Sherman told me before that he just lets you ride your race. You're telling me that you just let him run his race. There was a little bit of concern that at the starting gate he might have a little trouble with this big field because sometimes he breaks his steps slow. Tell me about the start of the race.
I got started very well. I jumped out of that running, and I almost want to let it go into the front, and there's two horses they want to go a little bit quicker than me, so I started slowing down right in the first, as soon as I crossed the wire, and everybody got right to me. I was going to move it outside, but it was a little bit difficult in there for me, but I built all the swing to the outside without a problem, and that was it.
Congratulations, Victor. A fairy tale horse with a fairy tale ending. Let's go to Tom.
All right, Donna, and is a fairy tale ending for Victor Espinosa and California Chrome, the first California bred to win the Derby since 1962. And what about Art Sherman, who came with swaps, and as he said, this horse is my swaps, and he looked like it today. Kenny?
All right, thanks, Tom. Tom Hammond just said, talking about Art, when you said this horse is my swaps. Did he look like that today?
He sure did. I'll tell you, it gave me the biggest thrill I ever had in my life. Yes.
Were you thinking back to that time when you were that teenager riding on that car with swaps coming here as he was coming down the stretch and all those memories?
Well, I did. When I went over to Swap's grave the other day, I said a little prayer and it came true.
What was that prayer?
They said, I hope he's another Swaps.
Steve?
Yes.
By the way, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I don't know what kind of present can top this.
Oh, I don't know. Probably nothing. Nothing at all right now. Nothing. Nothing. We've done. Art Sherman has come full circle from the exercise rider, California bred, that won the Kentucky Derby, to training a California bred that won the Kentucky Derby. So all I got to say is, do you non-believers believe this horse now and believe this man can train a horse? Because if you don't, you need to have your head examined.
Some people once upon a time said you guys have to have your head examined. An $8,000 mare. What are you thinking? Well, I guess you thought well.
Yeah, Perry did the research on her breeding and the back breeding of her and Lucky Pulpit both. And they just had a mix that I don't think many people saw. And it's a dream come true. And it's a great birthday present. It really is.
Happy birthday. Congratulations, Steve. One more thing, Art. Did he do everything that you expected today? Is there a lot left in him?
Well, you know, I was riding him the last 70 yards with Victor, so I think he was riding him too, you know, so he had a lot of weight on him, I can tell you that.
You rode great today. Congratulations, Art. Tom?
All right, Kenny. Art trains California Chrome at Los Alamitos in Southern California, which is known as a quarter horse track, but now moving into thoroughbreds with the closure of Hollywood Park. They're going to party there tonight for sure, because this horse is a favorite there. He already was on the billboard outside the track that he trained there. So at Southern California, at Los Alamitos, at Santa Anita, and everywhere in the Golden State, they're celebrating a California bred winner of the 140th Kentucky Derby. With authority, California Chrome and Victor Espinosa for Art Sherman win the Roses at Churchill Downs. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, the odds-on favorite for superior performance. Goodyear, more driven. The race is official and the prices are in. Here are the payoffs. California Chrome paying $7, $5.60 and $4.20. Commanding Curve, a long shot trained by Dallas Stewart, who ran second with long shot Golden Soul last year at over 30 to 1. This horse 37 to 1 finishes second, pays $31.80 to place. Danza was third, exacta $340, $1,700 for the dollar trifecta, and $7,600 for the dollar superfecta.
Well, as we spoke about prior to this running, it can be a little rough as you go down the stretch, and Danza, number 4, experienced just that. They broke from the gate. California Chrome's screen left to him. Good break for Danza. Jockey Joe Bravo hustles him out. But as we go down the stretch, you're going to see a little crowding, and Danza gets ping-ponged around a little bit. It happens just a little bit later. Here he goes, boom, gets knocked in, and then Joe Bravo has a little spot to get. Now he kind of angles him back out. That wasn't the end of it for Danza. He ends up with a good little spot here along the rail, but each bump takes a little bit out of these horses as they go through the body of the race.
He moved up a little bit on the backstretch now as you see him going around the turn. Meanwhile, Commanding Curve is, of course, well back in the back. Gets him at the very bottom. Yellow Silks, Black Star. That's his running style. So that's no surprise there. And here's Danza next to the rail, which he likes.
Good trip for him so far, other than the bump. Now we turn for home. You see Wicked California Chrome taking the lead, drawing out Wicked Strong, not too far back, in the beige and red silks with a shadow roll on his neck, slowly making up ground. Danza switching out to about the 4 path for Joe Bravo, making a clean run through the stretch. But nobody had an excuse that you could say it cost them the race.
No, Wicked Strong had a bit of traffic to deal with there when a horse cut over in front of him, but it certainly wasn't going to change the outcome of this race. Here's Commanding Curve now. Again, he was well back in the pack. The Yellow Silks, that's him with a 3-wide trip at this point as they hit the second turn. Similar running style to Golden Soul a year ago, way back in the pack, and then sort of letting the pieces fall where they may. But the early pace was not as fast in this race as we had expected. The half mile was 47 seconds and a few fifths, which is much slower than we thought it would be.
And of course, to avoid the traffic, you can see there's hardly any place to go in the middle of the pack. So Robbie Alvarado angles him out in the middle of the racetrack for a clear run, losing a little bit of momentum, losing a little bit of links, but as I said, nobody was going to beat California Chrome today. It was all his.
Yeah, Tom, we'll be going back, Jerry and I, and analyzing all these videos, all these isolated replays, every which way we can. Analyze the time, which was not that impressive at first glance, 2:03.66, but sometimes the track surface can change throughout the day. You can't take anything away from the authority that California Chrome showed, though.
And how about that DAP on the silks, on the blinkers? Victor Espinoza acknowledging with his hat. The DAP stands for Dumbass Partners. If you buy this horse, you're a dumbass. That's the dam of the Kentucky Derby winner now. They purchased for $8,000. What a story. Heading back to the stable area, victorious with all that shiny chrome on him. The white blazed face, the 4 white feet. California Chrome did it at Churchill Downs today, and Victor Espinoza had a brilliant ride.